was a Cranberries cover band there that night. It was my wife's 40th birthday.
John Bowlin's GPS told him not to linger on that fateful afternoon in May of last year. It suggested he take the toll lane as he turned onto C-470 from I-25.
And so I just hopped in the lane as soon as I could.
That meant crossing a line to get there, something John admits he did that day.
I got in the mail something called a notice of civil penalty, and it said that I had committed a safety violation by weaving in and out of the toll lane on C-470.
Being an attorney, John couldn't help himself.
It was called a safety violation, but you look up the statute that tolling authority was citing, and it says that they can issue a civil penalty for toll evasion. And I thought to myself, well, I wasn't trying to avoid paying the toll.
He paid it, in fact. So John tried appealing through CTIO and got an online hearing.
My name is Ilsa Scott. I'm the administrative law judge assigned to this hearing,
where he was denied.
So I've heard your argument on those issues. I disagree with you.
It was a rubber stamp on behalf of the toll authority.
Steve on Your Side reported last year only about 6% of people are successful in that hearing process, which cost an extra $30, by the way. So John took his next legal step.
It's up to the consumer. They have to go to court and initiate the lawsuit and figure out how to bring the tolling authority into the court system, which is difficult.
You heard that right. If drivers want to fight their ticket in a real court, they have to essentially file a lawsuit against the state, serving papers to the Attorney General, creating witness lists, putting forth exhibits.
Download ADF 233.
Steve on Your Side's been following others.
And there was like a $75 filing fee with this.
Who aren't lawyers, trying to navigate this process.
I have a PowerPoint even.
And they haven't been successful.
I don't understand this. I think I have to hire a lawyer now.
Bowlin's 3 years of law school helped him out.
So we went to a whole trial, and it was the burden of the tolling authority to prove that I had committed toll evasion at that trial.
Did they prove it?
No, they failed to.
In the end, the judge dismissed the ticket.
The judge eventually held, even if entering across that lane might be some kind of traffic infraction, that you might be able to get pulled over, by a sheriff's deputy or something like that, that it wasn't the kind of thing that the tolling authority could just send this notice of civil penalty out and collect $75 for.
In a hearing, the judge said the ruling isn't meant to set a precedent, but
I think that other judges would come to the same conclusion.
So much so, this attorney is now considering class action.
I imagine that there are thousands of people potentially who have paid the toll but still gotten this ticket, and likely most of them paid it. Very difficult to hire a lawyer to go and fight this fight for you in a court over a $75 ticket.
Now, CTIO told me they couldn't comment about this because it's an ongoing legal issue. And then they went on to comment, saying that they've prevailed in other court cases with similar legal arguments and will continue to operate the program the way they've been operating. Bowlin said anyone interested in being part of this potential class action could contact his office. We will put that contact information on this story on 9news.com. I'm Steve Stager, Steve on Your Side, 9 News.
Good to be a lawyer sometimes.
It's good to be a lawyer, yeah. but even frustrating for him.
Did they? And they aren't even considering just changing the verbiage, changing what they're accusing you of, because it seems like that's where the rub is.
They certainly could, but Bowlin argues that they would have to go back to the General Assembly to try to make that change. It'd be interesting to see what the argument would be in the legislature for a case like this, knowing the frustration of a lot of people who've gotten these tickets. I have a feeling that if they tried to change something, they might hear from some constituents who...
Is this a big moneymaker for them?
Well, we reported in the first 9 months of this program, $40 million in tickets written to consumers. Doesn't mean they've collected all of them, because a lot of people don't pay. But $40 million in 9 months in the first part of this program. Since that number, we're working on getting a new number, by the way. Since that number, they've expanded the toll lanes and this enforcement on toll lanes to a few more places, including US 36. So you imagine more money, more tickets written out there. So there's a lot of chances for people.
Quickly, finally, does he get to bill for his time?
We asked him that today. He said he'll get court costs back and he's going to petition for his time. Because he goes, I was working for this case. I couldn't work for another client while I was doing all this research on this.
And my rate is high.
Yeah.
All right.
Class action.
Quite a story.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve, as always.